All right, 5 of Wands. This card is about, if you count the branches, there's 12, just like the 12 signs of the zodiac, who have all different personality traits. If you look at these people's clothes, they're all different clothes and different outfits and different styles. They even have different shoes on, and then some shoes don't even match. I think that's the one that don't match. No, maybe not this one. There's another card where they don't match. Maybe the 7 of Wands. But they're just all different personality types. So they're all trying to get together with their wands, which is like opinions, things you feel rooted in, your beliefs, your values. These are things that you just feel like you know because you lived it. But then they're trying to get constructive criticism. They're all trying to get together and build their wands or just come together. And so it's hard to decide what to do, what decision, what route to go. It's indecisiveness. And so when you look at the zodiacs trying to get on the same page together and get something working, you see the guy in the middle, in his face, he's working these guys in the group, but then he's also looking to the loner in the on the outside who has a big opinion, which is either like Aries energy, who could be bossing everybody, or saying that their way's better. If they're even Aquarius on the end, Aquarius is always like the smartest of the group, and they always stick out and they try to tell everybody else what they should be doing, but no one really understands. It's very frustrating for Aquarius because they are the smartest one. So in the middle, you have Libra. And so you have the Libra is in the middle of the zodiac and tries to keep balance in the zodiac. And it's very notorious for like indecisiveness. And so he's listening to this guy and he's like, yeah, that makes sense. But then listening to the group. He's like, yeah, on the other hand, that makes sense. He's like, I don't know what to do. But the advice of this card is to just follow your heart. Because if you can't decide, then better left don't decide. Let your heart decide for you. Don't let other people decide for you. Let your heart decide for you. And then you can know what to do or what decision to make. But it could be like arguing. It could, people being bossy. But it's like, I don't know what to do. Just let your heart decide for you. Because we're all individuals. We're all on our own paths. And so no one really knows or really cares more than how you should care about yourself. Also, another thing about the wands, which is neat. So the Hebrew word for tree, like wands as trees, is etz, like E-T-Z. But the Hebrew word for advice is etzah. So the trees give advice. Every single wands card has advice. This one is let your heart decide for you. I know sometimes from personal experience, though, that if you can't decide, the answer is usually no. Does that make sense? The next one, 5 of Cups. This guy, he wears all black. Oh, maybe another way. What about he's staring at his house. It could be his comfort zone. He's been kicked out of his comfort zone and he's trying to figure out a way to get back. That's all he can focus on. He just stares at that house. How can he get back to his that place where he was stable and secure and everything seemed to be okay and he was happy? How can I go back? And so he's wearing black, which is Saturn energy, which is karma, life lessons, not life lessons, more like yeah, it could be a life lesson, but it's just like karma and time, restrictions, headaches, frustrations, all the crap that life throws at you. And then you just learn to overcome it, usually by yourself. Because you have that giver energy, it's learning how to do it all by yourself. And that's how you become a really strong person. So this shows a really strong person who can figure out all their problems by themselves. And then usually these kind of people are the helpers. They are the best friends that people confide in to help out find solutions to their problems, or maybe even to go fight someone for them, or to make a phone call, something like that. Like these are the best guys. And so when they have a problem, they don't go to anyone else because they're the ones that everyone comes to. So they just figure out the solutions by themselves. And then if you see the bridge in the background, he'll always figure out a way to get back over the emotional water back into his comfort zone, whatever it was where he was happy and secure and stable. And then, yeah, the sky is gray too. So like life lessons been learned here. And just another thing that he will learn and he'll kind of wear on his back and it'll make him stronger in the future. He learns from all his lessons. And then if you look at the 3 cups, they They're on the right side of the, no, they're on the left side of the card. So left even connects to like the understanding negative side of the tree of life. And three is Bina, which also hangs on the left side of the tree of life, is understanding. So it's through some sort of severe craziness, his understanding got toppled over of why he can't be inside that secure comfort zone anymore. It got rocked. And all he can do is focus and obsess about the problem. But if he were to look behind him, he'd see two cups that are upright, and they give the advice to the bridge where you can walk back. This is just advice that's like sometimes your solutions to your problems come to you when you don't focus on your problems. Go take a walk, go read a book, go watch a movie, go play a game. Just let's focus on something else. Or it could come from advice, because on the right side of the card, it connects to the blessings and advice of the reading. And so it shows two, advice to walk up the bridge next to the second sphere Hokmah, which was wisdom, like advice. Sometimes advice comes from the least expected person. It might even come from a billboard. You like saw a sign or something. It's like if you just get out of your problem, that's when the advice comes. It could come from a person that you care about or cares about you. It could come from a random stranger. It could come from the TV. It could come from a sign, something. But if you're not focusing on the problem, that's when it comes to you. But usually this is a really strong person that figures out all the problems and solutions by themselves. And they're the ones that other people confide in with their problems. Just like a really good Aries friend is always like that. Most of the time like that. Disclaimer. Next card, 5 of Swords. This guy, see how he has his two swords, and swords are your thoughts and ideas, and he got them right up to the right of the card. And so if this was a Kabbalah tree life, that would be right next to that second sphere, Hokmah, which is wisdom, which is the second one. That's why he has two swords, so the second sphere. And so he's tapped right in. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Hokmah, wisdom. He so it's like bright wisdom, godly insights, and he's channeling it all in. And so this brings him so much like energy, and he feels it like electric. And that's why he has electric hair. It's all staticky, and even the clouds are all like static electric. And so electricity is in the air. He's feeling very powerful, and his ideas are so sound. And then he has a really good like epiphany, and I'm gonna see right through it. And so people have their swords and their ideas, and they try to talk him down with his idea because it seems just too crazy, or maybe they don't see him actually accomplishing it. So he sticks the sword inside the foundation where it's like Hokmah wisdom, gray foundation. And he's like, I'm sticking to my point. I'm sticking to these ideas. This is like facts. And no one can talk me out of it. No one can sway me. No one can judge because I can prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm a little bullheaded right now, but I'm not gonna lose this battle, either my argument, or just my actions. Like no one said I can start my own business, but I'm going to prove to them. Like I got the idea, like I know I can. I got this new thing. Or even like a promise to myself, like I'm going to stick to this diet, or I'm going to finish college, or I'm going to write this book, or whatever. I'm going to clean my room, like whatever. I swear, I'm going to stick to it, and no one can talk me out. They're going to actually give up and then walk into the sea of emotions because they feel stupid now. So it's really empowering to prove other people wrong. And also like maybe prove them with facts if you're winning an argument. That's a good advice for this card. Because facts always trump over emotion. And then the last pentacle one is or 5 of Pentacles. This card, it shows a man and woman enduring the storm together, and they have hardships in the cold. And then they go to the church and ask for help and charity and warmth when they're down on their luck. And you see the stained glass window, it has an anchor. The pentacles are in the shape of a ship's anchor. And that's that old Freemason symbol is the anchor. It kind of shows like if you're on a boat and a big storm's coming, you anchor down, and then it gives you like a place of like security. And you're not going to just be brushed away inside the storm and drifted out into sea, but you're going to be safe and secure, and you're going to weather the storm. So these two people, they're down their luck, but they're going to weather the storm and go into the church and be saved. So it's like a couple that sticks through the thick and thin, through richer or poor, through sickness and through health, for better or for worse. But also, there's a flip side to this. It could be a woman who's leaving her man in the cold and dropping him off at the church, and she's giving him the cold shoulder. You see, the man, he's on crutches, but he's leading on his broken foot. So if he has really broken foot, he wouldn't be leading. He wouldn't need like crutch. Like if it was really broken, he wouldn't be walking on his broken foot. It hurt too much. And he's also wearing a leper's bell, but his skin is all intact. And then he's wearing a bandage on his head, but he's not bleeding. And then now he says, I'm cold, and can I have your shawl? And she says, no, you're driving me to my wits' end, you're driving me crazy. I'm gonna keep my shawl and I'm gonna leave you behind because you are like that anchor and you're dragging me down. You're slowing me down for my own goals. The relationships become a drag. And this guy, he's faking all his illnesses and he's being manipulative. And he's always focused on his problems, playing the victim all the time. And then he always just wants to be seen like an energy vampire. But then she's had enough of it and she doesn't feel seen. And so she leaves him at the church. So she could have the strength to be able to walk away. Or on the good side of it, they could have the strength to endure the severe times in their life and really anchor down together and weather the storms. I always pull 3 cards when I do readings. So depending on those 3 cards, it could show you if they're going to be sticking together or they're going to be breaking up based on the other meanings of the other cards. And I don't do reversals. So this card's always upright. All the cards are always upright. So you always see the title of the card on the bottom or the number on the top. Just like it makes sense. And then if I did do reversals, it'd be after a night. I'm sorry, after a page. Because pages and now it's change. So it could change or alter the intentions of that card. But we'll go over that later. But yeah, I don't read reversals in that way. Because if there was because there would be reversals. Other cards tell you like if they would break up or stay together, or if the other cards would say the answers that the reversals would in a better way. Does that make sense? So you always pull the right card for the certain question. We'll go over it more later, but that card can be seen 2 ways for sure. I mean, even this card too, it could be like a guy who like has the need to prove himself right all the time and has a really big ego. That's a bad thing. Even this guy could be a guy who just doesn't ask for help. That's an ego thing.